Desperate MILFs 12-pack, books 1 through 12. MILF Breeding Erotica, Anal Sex Erotica Collection. Copyright 2022 by Tori Westwood. Written by Tori Westwood and narrated by Jett. A Close Shave, Desperate MILFs 1. I'd been cutting people's hair for years now. It didn't pay great, but for a bored housewife it was a great way to get out and speak to people. We'd talk about all kinds of things. With my closer clients, I'd talk about my husband Greg's suspected infidelity. But today I was cutting his employee Jake's hair, so that was kind of off limits. I was at a point in my failing marriage where I just wanted affection, and I didn't care too much who I got it from. It started to become clear to me that Greg wasn't the guy to get it from, so I'd moved on to other targets. I didn't even want to cheat on him necessarily. I just wanted to be wanted, you know? I had a lot of love to give, and I felt like he wasn't willing to receive it. Shit, I was close to boiling point sexually. I just wanted to get off one way or another. What I did was completely irresponsible of me, don't get me wrong, but now I just have to tell someone. I'm just trying to make you understand the position I'd got myself in. I can't erase or excuse what I did, but at least let me try to justify it. Jake was 19 at the time, and I knew just how guys his age thought and acted. I'd had a brother growing up, so all of this wasn't lost on me. I knew how important it was to release that tension every once in a while. Jake was due his haircut, and I'd set up a chair in the kitchen to give him his usual trim. He came over straight from my husband's work, and he looked a little flustered on arrival. Maybe something was on his mind. "You okay?" I asked, showing him the chair. "Uh-huh," he said, hopping in. I could see the thick barrel of his cock in his pants immediately. Naughty boy. My husband had told me last year that he had had to scold some of his employees because they were talking too freely about me. "Wait here," I told him, smirking. "I'm just going to change." "I'm not going anywhere." "I'll be 1 minute, Jake." He sat in the chair as I left and went upstairs. A devilish grin spread across my face. If Jake had been thinking what I thought he had, then it would be fun to tease him a little. I wasn't planning on doing anything more than that, I swear. Things just got out of hand. In my bedroom, I put on a top that used to get my husband going. It was this blouse with a plunging neckline that made it practically impossible not to look at my tits. I'd worn it to a few dinners and garnered a lot of attention, and not just from guys. My tits were my finest asset, so if they couldn't get Greg going then, he was a lost cause altogether. I just had to make sure I still had it, and Jake was the test subject. "That's better," I said, returning to the room. I watched him do a double take immediately, and then avert his gaze. "Jeez, Mrs. Rutherford," he hushed. "What?" "Nothing." Jake looked down at his phone, and I moved behind him to put the haircloth over his head. I fastened it on and smoothed it over his shoulders, looking down past my cleavage into the back of his neck. He was a good-looking kid. "You want it like normal?" I asked. "Please," Jake said. Apart from the initial reaction, I didn't get much of a peep from Jake, even when I was resting my big tits on his shoulder as I shaved around his ears. He just swiped away on his phone, ignoring me just like his boss had started to. At 46, I wondered if anyone had found me attractive anymore at all. I began to snip at him quickly, impatient to finish his haircut now that my change of dress hadn't had the desired effect. I don't really know what I was expecting, in all honesty. It's not like he was going to blurt out, "Nice tits, Miss Rutherford," and then wait for his haircut. When it came time to do the front of his hair, though, his demeanor changed drastically. I moved around in front of him, giving him only one place to look. "Put that phone down a second while I do your fringe," I told him. "I need you to face forward." I took the phone from him and set it on the side. When I looked back, Jake was once again staring. He quickly looked to the side of me, staring off into the distance. "So, any plans tonight?" I asked, walking in close to him.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?